Good morning, everyone. I am Leia May Diamla, and today we're going to talk about climate change and environmental awareness. I know that some of you had already knowledge about this one, since climate change is very general, very common. We encounter this since grade school and even up till now college. And about environmental awareness, I know that some of you also had knowledge about that because we have our major subject, environmental management. But anyway, let's discuss. But before that, I'd like to apologize for the unnecessary noise running on the background because dili na magid nato na siya makontrol is tukon ang manok.
Good day everyone, I am Jaira May Templa Bakit and today we're talking about climate change. What is climate change? Climate change refers to the long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural but since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, which produces heat-trapping gases known as greenhouse gases. For example, sa unang panahon kay kabalo na ta nga ang timbulan sa summer kay January to July or August, then karon kay daghan bitaw na usab kay bisag ting panahon sa summer kay gaulan-ulan na.
So, let us proceed now to the causes of climate change. Actually, we have 7 causes of climate change here. First one is generating power because those power plants, especially those who use fossil fuels. Second is manufacturing goods where industrial processes release pollutants and greenhouse gases. Third one is cutting down forest, pinaka-common, or there's also what we call deforestation. We all know the effects when we cut trees. So, possible sa mga baha, dili kay ta maka-fight, and aside from that, trees also nag-release na siya og oxygen. So, what will happen if we cut those trees, right? Daghan siya effects. And 4 is the use for transportation, of course. Kana imong motor, gamit-gamit pang choy. Dili na mudagan og walay gasolina. It was powered by fossil fuels that are major emitters of greenhouse gases. Second is producing food, of course. We are using technology to produce food nowadays, and we all know na naapoy impact sa ato ang environment ang paggamit og mga technology. Next is powering those buildings, especially companies who have energy consumption for heating and cooling. And last one is consuming too much. We all know that too much is dili pud siya maayo na kanang magpasobra ra gid kaayo ka. Even in real life, right? Too much can kill you daw. So same pud na here sa climate change. Para mabawasan nato ang climate change, bawasi imong consumption as a human being. Next is the effects of climate change. So we have 2 main factors of the effects of climate change here. First is the rising temperature. So simple ra ang thought aning slide. Ang thought aning slide is nearly all land areas daw are experiencing more hot days and heat waves. So even us, right, we are experiencing it that once in a year na adyoy mga months na perti kainit ang imong balay kay mura nag-oven. That increasing greenhouse gases trap heat in the atmosphere, causing temperature to rise. The Earth is approximately 1.2 Celsius degrees warmer before, with 2023 being the hottest year on record. Yes, 2023 daw ang pinakainit nga year, and I am one of those people na makatestify ani because senior high pa ko ato nga time, and Ang among class is mag-start siya at 5 p.m. tapos half day lang kay sobra na gid kainit pag abot sa 1:00 to 3:00. And kadto nga time ging ato ang system because it's very alarming kay daghan na may mga kuyapan tungod sa kainit. Second is species extinction. So, simple ra pod ang thought ani nga slide. Ang climate change daw po ang isa sa mga dahilan why ma-extinct ang atong mga species because it destroy their habitats, making it difficult para sa ilang mag-survive. And according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature or also the IUCN, ang climate change daw nakaapekto gyud sa ato ang mga species because at least I know it affects our species. Because according to their data, 10,967 species increasing their likelihood of extinction. Imagine ing ana kadaghan nga species ang ma-extinct just because of climate change. So, if there are causes of climate change, of course, there are also good solutions of climate change. First is, instead na magamit ka na yung mga nakagawian, you can switch to renewable energy. Second one, energy efficiency. If not used, then you can turn off your electricity. Sustainable transportation. I know that vehicles really helps us humans because it makes our lives easier. But if dool ra ang imong linakwan, makatabang na ka kay environment nga instead of magsakay, maglakaw na lang ka kay dool raman ang imong lakwan or adtuan. And sustainable agriculture, reforestation and afforestation. If naay tree planting nga activity, pwede kung wala kay gibuhat, if you are not that busy, pwede ka nga mag-volunteer. Carbon capture and storage, and last one, policy and legislation. We have current laws naman nga nagaprotekta sa ato ang environment, but as a reporter who understands this topic, as a student who understand this what we call environmental awareness more, I do believe that it will be effective kung mas ipahigpit pa siya. That law must improve and mas ipahigpit.
Good day everyone, I'm Ria Midalugdad Albarin and today we will talk about environmental awareness. So what is environmental awareness? Environmental awareness is having an understanding of the environment, the impacts of human behavior on it, and the importance of its protection. So when we say environmental awareness is mao na ang mga binuhatan sa tao sa atong environment. Ilang mga behavior, if ang ilabang behavior is kanang, if example, naglabay og bisan asa nga basura, naglabay sa dagat, sa kanal. So, kung inana ang ilahang behavior, ang possibility is di ba madaot ang atong environment. So, as environmental awareness, dapat aware ta kung unsaon na to pagprotekta ang atong environment. Then, how to promote environmental awareness? Before we begin promoting environmental awareness in our community, we must first make sure that we have a understanding of environmental issues. Stay up to date and on environmental news, read books and other materials, and learn about the issues affecting our own community. It's much easier to talk to others about the environment if you're already taken the time to educate yourself. So, sa how to promote environmental awareness, before ka mag-promote sa environmental awareness, dapat aware ka sa imong kaugalingon sa unsay angay nga buhaton. Example, gina-educate nimo sila nga dapat i-separate ang mga basura, dapat dili magsunog, dapat dili maglabay-labay sa kumbisan asa, sa kanal man, sa dagat man, or sa mga lugar nga dili labayanan. Dapat na proper waste segregation. Gina-educate nimo na sila. Pero ikaw mismo sa imong kaugalingon is wala ka nagsunod ana nga pangbuhaton. Wala ka nag-follow kung unsa dapat ang proper way. So, adisir ka mag-educate sa others, kailangan ka sa imong kaugalingon educated na kadana. Kay sa giingon diri, if you already taken that time to educate yourself, so adisir ka mag-educate sa others, kailangan gina-educate sa nimo daan imong kaugalingon. Kay dapat ikaw mismo ang mahimong basta ikaw mismo ang mahimong role model sa ilaha para sila ang muawat sa imuha. Kay lain sab kung niawat sila sa imuha ay naghatag ka og instruction sa ilaha, naghatag kag environmental awareness sa ilaha, pero ikaw mismo sa imuhang kaugalingon isulat na nimo gi-apply kung unsa imong gipang-ingon. So mao na ang how to promote environmental awareness.
So, there are three causes why people have environmental awareness. Kay kining notion nga to see is to believe. Mutuo na pag makita na pag nanay effect. Pero og sige kag ingon nga dili tapos walay makita, then they will not believe you. So there's three causes why people have environmental awareness already. First is oil drilling, the effects of oil drilling, deforestation, and production of plastic goods.
Good day, everyone. I'm Jasmine Tion. Today, I will talk about the effects of people having environmental awareness and how it changed their individual behavior. Impacts on individual behavior. With more being able to comprehend the environmental situation, people have begun to change their own consumer practices. Local farmers are given center stage as more humane and significantly less environmentally harmful than industrial farms. When people became environmentally aware, they understand the problems happening in nature, like pollution and waste. Because of this, they start changing how they live. They choose eco friendly products, reduce plastic, save water and electricity, and support local farmers instead of big industrial farms. This helps protect the environment and encourage others to do the same. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Jamaica D. Brabante, and we're talking about policy legislation. Policy and legislation. Most of these policies being upheld were brought into a broader public consciousness through advocacy groups and protests, which have been written and passed as law to preserve these sustainable practices which spell a more sustainable future, saving plenty from wasted budget and tedious cleanup. For example, is many of today's environmental laws exist because advocacy groups and protests raise public awareness. Because of these efforts, governments created and passed laws that protect the environment and promote sustainable practices. These policies help ensure a better and more sustainable future while also reducing waste, money, and the need for difficult cleanup efforts.
Now let's us proceed to our last discussion. The good prospects to spread environmental awareness. And what are those prospects? First is we have the continuous inclusion of the youth or simply educating the youth. Like ang mga kabataan, i-appeal sila. We can simply teach young people about the environmental because it will encourage them to value and protect it. Just like what I said, dili nimo ma-appreciate ang isa ka butang if you yourself wala nimo na na-experience. So, it will be better if na yung mga environmental activities like tree planting, ato ang i-include ang mga youth. Second is volunteer programs and community building projects or simply community engagement. Involving people in hands-on projects. Same rin sa akong giingon. You can't relate if wala nimo na na-experience by yourself. So, by involving them, murag ganahan man na sila. They will have better understanding and possible support for environmental awareness. Best example for this is local communities organizing tree planting events or clean up drives nearby beaches and parks. Another example kanang coastal cleanup drive sa inyong barangay if naka-join na ka. That's also one of the example of community engagement.
So the number 3 of what are good prospect to continue to spread environmental awareness. Number 3, incentivize waste management efforts. It is incredibly easy to get people involved and deliver the direct effect of their efforts when we are incentivized for it. Best example is Germany, where they even run out of trash to recycle. Their waste management not only helps maintain their environment but also encourage the people to continue doing so because it directly gives them something in return. So sa incentivized waste management effort, it's example sa katong Germany nga kanang ang ilahang mga garbages is gina-recycle nila para na ay pakinabangan pa siya. So, example, dali sa ito example sa among gibuhat katong sa environmental management na mga subject nga ang naghimo mig basurahan, which is the use of recyclable material. So, isa na siya sa example nga kanang magamit pa siya, na pa siya pagamitan sa mga dapat dili siya pang sunugon, dapat dili siya ilabay bisan asa. Instead, i-collect siya og himuon siya nga kanang recycle material siya nga mapakinabangan pa in the future. The next we have the number 4, keep making efficient practices and more efficient. These efforts alone cannot solve the climate crisis itself within an instant, but it can definitely help alleviate it and make the world an environmentally better and more cost-friendly place to live in. So, in order nga ma-execute tanan, kailangan efficient ang practices. Dili lang buhaton ra ni karon tapos pagkasunod adlaw is wala na dayon. Mauro to kanang murag pakitang tao lang nga ni follow ka sa rule, ni follow ka sa environmental awareness pero wala ni mo gi-maintain. So dapat efficient siya, dapat dili lang karon but continuously ginabuhat siya para ma-maintain ang environmental nga hinlo og safety og para pod wala para para magamay-gamay or para magkuan na ang climate change dili na inana kalala.
Our discussion ends here today. I know that some of you wonder why daghan kaayo ko part it's because some of my group mates wala nag-send sa ilahang part. I don't know what's the reason. And before we formally end this discussion, we have got here by Greta Thunberg. According to her, all we have to do is to wake up and change. You can make the climate change by having aware of it. It's not too late. Wake up so we can all save our environment, not just for us but for the future generations. Thank you.